And I want to discuss the single responsibility principle. So if you were paying attention here, you might be wondering why there were two role methods. This one is so short that I could have just combined them into a single method. Now that is certainly true. In this instance, it probably wouldn't have made that much of a difference, but I did this on purpose to showcase this single responsibility principle. So what does this actually mean? Well, it just boils down to that each component of a program has responsibility over one task. This was sort of put forth by a popular software developer named Bob Martin. So you can look him up and find some more information on it with him. Basically, when you have a method or a function, really you want it to complete a single small task. You don't want to put too much code in the body of one function or one method. So there's not any set, in stone guidelines for this, but the main idea is to have your methods complete a single small task. So taking a look at this underscore roll method, its task is to complete one roll of all dice. So we know that within here, just one complete roll. That's all we're trying to do. And that's its responsibility. This roll method, although it's very short, is is able to roll all the dice n number of times. So I know there's not much logic here. It's just a for loop that continuously calls this. But I still wanted to kind of break it up into two methods in order to just showcase the single responsibility principle. Another thing that it showcases is this private method. So this underscore roll method. So in Python, users can call private methods. They are available to them, but it is certainly not encouraged. It is not the preferred way of interacting with that object. It's to call the public. You should be focusing on calling the public methods. Only in rare cases you should call these private methods. So exposing just a single method, and that's the word that you use, exposing the method. That means showing it to the public, exposing this method to the public. We're saying, hey, users, use this method to roll the dice. If you want to roll it one time, you can just call it with the defaults and leave it like that. Hopefully this helps showcase the single responsibility principle. In practice, what will generally happen is that you'll build these larger methods with a lot of code, and then you'll realize you can refactor, which just means rearrange the code such that you create a new method where a section of the code from the larger method is placed in that new method. And what you'll end up doing is you will have these private methods that are really only meant to be called internally. That means in the class definition itself and not by your users. You're going to direct your users to public methods to, how do you expect them to use the class? Like the public methods are the ones that you want them to use to actually get the functionality from the class.